Really do appreciate you joining us today here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. It's 419-794-3030, online, arhq.com. Don't forget, if you missed the first half of the show, you just want to catch up on previous editions of the show, available via podcasts on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters. All the previous shows there and segments there for you to digest at your leisure. And if you went back to this time, or a little earlier this time last year, you'll know that we were talking a lot about I-bonds. Last year, a lot of people put their cash into I-bonds when the rates were nearly 10%, but they have come down a bit since then, and they're actually due to reset on November 1st. For those that have held I-bonds for at least a year, I have to wonder, what's that sweet spot for cashing them out, and where's a good place to maybe put that money instead?
Well, if we look at it, and again, we look at our YouTube channel, this video that we put out there talking about, how to set up an I-bond account. Again, if you want to watch the video, you just type in how to open up an account with the U.S. Treasury, or again, you can go to America's Retirement Headquarters on YouTube. Just search by the most viewed one, because that particular video has got right now 3,628 views since we published it, kind of walking people through how to set up an account with the government I-bonds. And, when we saw the bond interest rates and they were in that 9%, it was kind of one of those no-brainer, you want to take advantage of the interest rate is where it was. Mm. The current rate now through November 1st is 4.3%. So you also want to look at the fine print, and the fine print says if you held your bond less than 5 years, you would forfeit 3 months worth of interest if you ended up cashing in your bond early. So assuming that somebody bought the bond a year ago when it was in that 9% range, and now that the interest has gone down to 4.3, that person's considering cashing it in. 3 months of worth of interest would be a 1.08% penalty based upon the current rate. If the new rate is expected to be 4.8%, what I would suggest is, you add 1.08, which is what the penalty would be for cashing in early. And that means you would need to make about 6% or higher to make that a smart move, or it may not make sense. So it goes down to, again, what's the time frame? What's the purpose? What are you going to use it for? So if somebody had $10,000 in credit card debt, and because the interest rates have gone up and they're paying 20% on credit card debt, I'd say, heck yeah, get rid of the credit card debt, pay off and eliminate that, and you'll be to the net positive. And or maybe if they were going to get a car loan and they were quoted an interest rate of 8, 9, 10%, it may be better off to use that, and that's a net positive. If somebody was looking at moving it from one investment to another, right now, in my opinion, it's about 6% or higher is what the rate that you need to get. There are a couple, but it's few financial products that are out there that are what I would consider to be safe, not market risk type of investment. So those are things like FDIC insured CDs. There's also things like fixed investments. And surprisingly, for the first time that I've seen, again, in 20 plus years, we're starting to see rates that are 6% or higher on some of these non-market risk investments. There's also investments that I see out there that, quote these high income and high payout, but they're not, again, backed by insurance protection, nor are they FDIC insured. I get a little bit scared for those type of products because when you don't have those backings, you got to be a little bit careful. So we are getting to that point where it could be advantageous to look at it. Again, if you're looking to how do I increase my savings rate, the number for me is 6% or higher in non-market risk investments. Or if you have something that's a debt that you're paying a high debt, that's where I would say. Otherwise, you can do what the Ronco, I think the rotisserie is, set it and forget it, and let it keep earning some interest for a while.
Figuring out what's going to work best for you, it comes down to running the numbers, doing the math. Math was never really my forte, but you know who the numbers guys are? Well, it's the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, Nolan Baker, Chaz Price. The whole team, honestly, you can meet them and find out more about them at arhq.com and actually set up a time to speak with them and figure out if this is going to be the right move for you going forward, exploring these options, because you don't want to just withdraw and then choose blindly. You want to be tactical about it. Make sure, again, the numbers work out. Here's the number you should keep in mind: 419-794-3030. That's how you get in touch with the team at America's Retirement Headquarters. Set up a time to speak with them. 419-794-3030, or as I said earlier, go to arhq.com.